Today we're going to be recreating the viral Ayra star makeup look created by Makeup by Chelsea. I'm going to link her page in the description. If you want to check her out, you can. She also did a tutorial on this on her TikTok, so that's what I'm going to be following today. Because this is a very simple skin-like fresh makeup, I'm not going to be doing so much. I'm going to be starting off with skin prep. I already prepped my skin. I moisturized and I applied sunscreen. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply my primer and then go in with my foundation. So she started by applying a mattifying primer to the T-zone just to remove any excess oils and to hold the makeup around that area. So I'm just applying a mattifying primer to these areas on my face. For a smooth application. So because this is a very fresh skin-like makeup, I'm going to be focusing more on skin than any other thing. She went ahead to spot conceal just to color correct any hyperpigmentation or spots she had on the face. But I'm going to go ahead and skip that step because I don't need to do that. So I'm going to go in straight with my foundation. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless foundation. It's in the shade 342. I'm going to go in very light layers because I still want to see my skin through the foundation. Not even up to one pump, like half pump on this side and half on this side. So I'm just making sure the skin looks breathable through the foundation. If you want to go in with a concealer that is very close to your skin tone, almost your skin tone, I'm using the Juvia's Place concealer in the shade 12. Just gonna apply a dab of it. So I'm just going to blend them out. Blend it out from the edges first and then go from the inner corner to the outer corner. Just apply a little bit around my nose and just the remnant I'm applying there on my forehead, on my chin. Going in with a darker concealer. This is the Nuban Beauty concealer. It's also a Nigerian brand in the shade 047. I'm using a concealer that is not too deep for my skin tone. Use my beauty blender. Just tap on the product a bit. Just blend it upward. And then apply some on my temple. Now for the nose contour, I'm just going to put a little bit my nose. Now just blend that out. For your nose contour, you don't want to use something too deeper than your skin tone, so it just blends right into your skin. Next up, I'll be going in with a brighter concealer. This is the Fenty concealer in 385W. I'm just going to go in with a light amount just on my inner corner. And you just go ahead and also blend that out lightly. So I'm just focusing more on the inner corner. Now I'm just leaving the outer corner. And then I'm blending it into the middle of my face. Just like this. And then if you see that there are any harsh lines, just go in with your blender and just diffuse the harsh lines. And some of the harsh lines I see here. For setting, I'm going in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. Because we want to give natural skin-like finish, we're only going to do setting today, no baking. Blend out any harsh lines. I then set. Then drag it out. Just mattifying the areas that are highlighted. Then we'll be going in with our powder bronzer. This is the Juvia's Place Bronze Duo in Deep Dark. I'm going to be using this shade to bronze up my face. Lightly, I'll mattify those areas where I applied contour. So she mentioned in the video that the face was giving snatch. So we're going to be doing like a method of contouring where we just try to elongate the face from the front. Everything should be very light-handed. I'll go ahead and contour the nose just a bit. A little bit of the same bronzer underneath the eye, just a tiny bit. Then for the brows, my favorite part, you want to take a lash glue. This is classic lash glue, and just apply it. Push this out first. Apply it to the ends because we want to give that straight brow look. So I'm trying to take off the ends of the brows. I'm using the glue to keep the ends in place so it doesn't move. Take your spoolie, you flick it down, and then you use your hands and then press it down. I'm going to use a little bit of the concealer I used for my contour, the Urban Beauty concealer. I'm just going to use that with a mix of the Juvia's Place I used earlier on, just a little bit. Try to place it directly on that area. And look, the eyebrows have disappeared already. I'm just going to let that sit a bit before I blend it out because I don't want to blend out everything and then the hairs will show again. So I'll just apply here. Now once that has dried down a bit, I'm just going to blend out from the edges. I don't need to blend it out too much. Then I'll go in with my powder puff and my setting powder. I just set that right in place. Now when you're drawing a straight brow, you want to go in straight. Instead of giving it a curve here, you're going to just draw it straight. Keep your hands straight. I'll just lightly fill in my eyebrows and I'll just take this up. And this brow pencil is from Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Dark Brown. For concealer, you want to go in with something creamy, not liquid. So I'm going in with the MAC Studio Fix concealer in this shade because I don't want it obvious that I conceal. And I'll just go ahead and blend out the concealer. I majorly focused on the edges because that's the area that needed concealing. Just setting it with a translucent setting powder. Next, I'm going in with the Maybelline Fix Me powder. Just brush it under my eye. Just use that to also blend out these harsh lines on my nose. And I'm doing this because I'm using a powder that is very close to my skin tone. I'm not using any bright powder or any brightening powder. Take the remnant and just do this. And I'm going in with the Fenty invisimatte powder all over my face just because I don't want to look so powdery. But I still want to give skin. And I'll add a little bit of mascara. This is the Maybelline mascara. I'm going to apply a little bit of that. For my lashes, I'm going to be focusing on just the ends. So I just need to use my mascara to bring out the beginning and then apply false lashes to the ends. Eyelashes, I'm using these half lashes from Minerva Lashes. It's in the name Louisa. And if you don't have a half lash, you can just get a full lash and cut it into two and use on both eyes. So this is my lashes off camera. I'm going in with a liner. This is the Maybelline liner. I'm just going to tight line. I'm going in with the Veebeauty blush Girls Night Out Max palette because I want to use something in between, not too pink, not too orange. I'm going in with this shade and I'm going in very lightly because it looks like she didn't apply so much blush, but still there's blush on her face. So I'm not going to do too much with blush today. I think this is about enough. So for the liner, you want to make sure your pencil is sharp. It has a pointed tip. So I'm just going to use that pencil to just create a little wing. Just drag it out. Now I'm going to use a flat brush to just drag that out just a bit. So you want to use a spray that makes the skin actually look like skin. So I'm going in with the Veebeauty setting spray just to set all over the face. To highlight, I'm going to go in with the Beauty by AD highlight stick in the shade Glitz. This is what it looks like. A little bit to this area as well. Now to my favorite part, the lips. You want to make sure you go in with a waterproof lip liner. I'm also using the Maybelline lip liner that I used under my eye, on my lip. I'm just going to go around the edges of my lip. And you want to be very precise with this step. Now once you're done with that, you want to take a Q-tip and clean the edges. And lastly, you want to go in with a very clear, shiny gloss. I'm going in with the Absolute Gloss. This is actually my holy grail because it does not disappoint. Never had a day when it disappointed me. So I'm going to start off applying right in the middle so I don't mix up the liner with the gloss. Now I just apply some to my hand and then use a brush to apply around the edges. And I'll just use that to dab around the edges. For my eye, I'll just use my translucent powder to just sharpen out the edges. Yeah, I just gave my eye a lift. Once you're done, it's meant to be looking something like this.